Hey guys, and welcome to episode 6 of my Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Let's Play. Today we're doing the Banana Cup using Donkey Kong because we have DK Jungle. Here we are in the first race, which is Dry Desert, I think. I always get this one mixed up with Dry Ruins, which is on the Wii version of the game, because they have very similar names, but this one comes from the GameCube, which to be honest has pretty similar graphics to the Wii's version, but it's double dash, so obviously has a massive gimmick that is very different to the Wii version. Now, as you can see in Donkey Kong's Fair, it's very detailed, which I think is quite a cool attention to detail, as they obviously didn't need to put that much detail in, because if you look in any of the previous Mario Kart games it does look fine. But then again, I'm not one to care about graphics, so people probably think different, like the kind of people that care about graphics. All I want with graphics is you can tell what you're doing, which every game I've ever played you can, except Complete Broken Messes, but I've only played one of them and it didn't work at all, so I don't know what the graphics were like. It just wouldn't load. But yeah, as long as you can tell what you're meant to do, which you can with everything, even early 3D where everything was a mess of polygons and looked horrible, still you can tell what you're meant to be doing and what you are doing, so I think it's fine. So yeah, I don't care about graphics at all, which is, I think it's unpopular, because the amount of people who rag on the Switch for not being good enough in terms of graphics and stuff, which I think it is. Like, this game looks amazing and I'm pretty sure it runs at 1080p and 60 frames a second. And also another thing is, when you trick, Donkey Kong can do a dab, which I don't even know why it became a big thing in whatever year it became a big thing in. I can't remember which year it was, but people still do it all the time. I think it might have been 2016 it first became a big thing. Who knows, but yeah, I think that might be the reason it's in the game. Then again, I think he dabbed in the original game in Mario Kart 8 as well, so who knows. Could just be a thing they chose ages ago to make him do, and then became a trend after they chose to do that, because this game did come out in 2014, which was a long time ago. I think it might have been May 30th, 2014. Don't know though the exact date it came out, but I know it was kind of early on in the year, just before summer, which May is. So yeah, there's our first win of this cup. Our second course is Donut Plains 3 from the SNES, and I think this course is another one of the really cool ones. Just looks cool and it has nice music, which to be honest I've said about nearly every track. It's got nice music and looks good. Probably because it's the game that has nice music and looks good, and therefore all the tracks do as well. But yeah, this course is pretty easy. It has a little shortcut you can go here if you don't want items. I always go the really long way around in 50cc, just cause you can't bounce up over grass very far, so it's safe to stay in the water for a little bit longer. But yeah, that's one of the kind of shortcuts that you can take. There's also one of the standard ones that's in nearly every SNES course, which is just a little hole in a wall that you can boost through if you have a mushroom. So many of the courses from the SNES have them. It's kind of ridiculous, but kind of does make sense. It's just a really simple shortcut to add, and they probably won't have been able to do many super advanced shortcuts back, because of capabilities of the SNES weren't that high. There's a shortcut, as you can kind of see. Don't think I showed it off very well, but we're definitely not going to be going through it. Now I just overlapped Peach. Well, lapped Peach. I'm going to get hit by that if I don't move. Generally, I find the way to avoid a bullet bill is don't drive in the centre of the map. Because they never... Did that blue shell just completely disappear? I saw a blue shell temporarily on the map and then it disappeared. Strange. Maybe it somehow thought someone else was in first and blew them. I don't know, there's the shortcut right in front of me. I actually showed it off a bit better this time. For our final lap, let's get a few coins to make it to 10 and go into our next race. Our third course is Royal Raceway from the N64, and I quite like this one. I've said that a lot, but it's true. We also have some unique ads, such as that one with Birdo, Peach and Daisy on it, which I didn't get a chance to read. I think it's something like Women for Racing. Something along the lines of that. There's lots of hot air balloons with toads in on this map. Yeah, Women of Racing Organisation, I thought so, something like that. There is a shortcut there with that ramp, which you need a mushroom for. Well, if you're in 200cc, most mushroom shortcuts you can actually take without a mushroom, but we're in 50cc, which is the exact opposite of 200cc. It's slow paced and you need mushrooms for everything in terms of shortcuts. So yeah, we're not going to be taking many during 50cc. But as we move up and get faster and faster, we will probably be taking quite a lot of shortcuts, especially when we reach 200cc in the future. Which shouldn't be too far off, to be honest. But I don't know. Right, let's block that red shell. I thought we was going to overlap Baby Luigi already for a second. But no, he was on a separate section of the map, which glides right past where I was. But yeah, we are in first by a long way, which, as I've mentioned in pretty much every episode, you do expect to be first by ages in 50cc, which can be a bit boring, but we're going through all of them anyway, because I want to show you guys the full content of the game. Peach's Castle is up there, which in the N64 you can drive to, which I did a few times, which is fun, but you can't anymore, unfortunately. What is that up there? Team. There's a team apparently. Never noticed that before, even though I've played this map millions of times probably. Not literally. Probably hundreds of times, because I think, including the Wii U time and my Switch time for this game, I've probably played about 550 hours, so a lot. So however many times I've played this map and haven't noticed that, it is a lot. So it's kind of a surprise when you still notice new things. Don't know if any of them are new additions to this game over Mario Kart 8, but either way, I played like 120, something like that, hours of this game, and 430 of the other games, so you'd think I would have noticed pretty much everything, but clearly not. Anyway, we've made it to the end of the race. Can I get the CPU? No. It's almost impossible to get CPUs to drive off the edge like as you finished, as in your own CPU, because it turns into a CPU when you're done. But yeah, I failed to do that. Might be possible to do that in 200cc though. Anyway, we've made it to DK Jungle, which is obviously fitting because we're using Donkey Kong, and as I mentioned earlier, is the reason we chose him. So let's go. And also a thing I forgot to mention is we're using the wooden wheels, which we unlocked in the last episode. They were the thing we got for, I think it was 150 coins. Don't know, but we seem to be consistently getting new vehicle parts every episode so far, which is nice. I'm hoping we get some more gliders soon, because we don't really have many, which is unfortunate, but probably because there's not that many gliders in the game, to be honest, so it makes sense that we've not got many. There was, as I mentioned earlier, the Donkey Kong Dab, and now we go into the Gold Temple, which has a golden banana spinning in circles, which Donkey Kong's looking at. Not really, he's just staring to the left because all the characters do that in this game for whatever reason. Like, there's two ways you can go here. There's this shortcut which failed to trick on the first part, but I did the second, which I'm pretty sure in the 3DS version of the game was connected, didn't have a jump. So that's a slight change they made. But generally, one unfortunate thing with this game is all of the 3DS tracks haven't been changed that much. Like, the additions, other than the track looking a lot better in terms of its graphics, the additions generally don't exist, which is a shame, because it could have done cool stuff. Like, they've turned this into anti-gravity, but that's about it. Other than, as I mentioned earlier, the little shortcut thing, which compared to what they've done, say with, as you'll see later, Cheeseland from the Game Boy, it's kind of disappointing to see this little change when, as I just said, you'll see later when we do Cheeseland in, I want to say the Egg Cup, but it's probably wrong, but in whichever cup that is in, might actually be the Crossing Cup. Well, I don't know, it's either in the Egg, Bell, Crossing or Triforce, one of them four, don't know which. But when you see that, it is way different to the Cheeseland on the Game Boy version, even though it is the same track, just remade. And then Ribbon Rose, also a massive difference as well, which is another one from the Game Boy and another one in the DLC. So it's kind of disappointing that this was barely touched. But there are quite a few remade maps that weren't touched too much, so it's not that big of a deal. Plus, I don't really mind it that much, it's just a lot of other people seem to really dislike it for whatever reason, so I thought I'd mention it. Anyway, that is us done with the banana cup. Now, let's go get our cup. Decided to skip the little racing thing, highlight reel, even. There we go, another vehicle customization option's been unlocked. And there's our banana cup. Has a barrel with some diamonds or some sort of gem jewel thing on it as well. But that is the end of this episode with that triple star for the banana cup. So I hope you enjoyed. If you did, leave a like down below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.